We've been super busy working on a whole bunch of new functions flowingly, and the first one I want to kind of talk about today is process linking. So this is a beta feature at the moment. There's a few little things that you'll kind of stumble across or think, the design on that could be a little bit better. We're aware of most of it. If you've got feedback, got further feedback, flick it through. But we're improving a whole bunch of this kind of as we go. So what I'm talking about today will have changed by next week. But this is the ability to link processes together. So there's a whole bunch of scenarios this could be used for. It could be used for, in this case, as you can see on screen, linking one process to the next halfway through. So like a sub process or a parallel process or something along those lines. So that's kind of scenario one. Scenario two, linking processes one after the other. So at the end. So I might have a linked process, which would be, in this case, we have initiate project. That might be its own process, so it could go to that process. And the third one is to have that high level view of process, and this will make a bit more sense kind of as you see it in action. So for the builders out there, building linked processes is as simple as using your component. You drag it onto the canvas, you click into it, and then you can easily select any process within your environment to link to. Now, for the end users, how that will look is exactly like this. So I've got my process here. I can see I've got a linked process halfway through. I click into that and it will just open up in another little tab here along the top. So I can easily navigate between my parent process and back to that linked process as well, that component. Always exiting, can exit out of that as well. So now that next scenario I talked about. So the ability to have a real high level process where processes are linked together. Now, a really good example of that is recruiting and onboarding. So with recruitment and onboarding, I've got things like I need to request to hire a new employee. I need to advertise that open position. I need to hire a new employee, and then I need to onboard and induct. Each of these are individual processes in themselves. So now I can create that high level view, and then I can actually delve down into the process itself. And the other scenario I talked about is linking those processes together with that last step. So as you can see, we've got this kind of breadcrumbing situation here where I can understand what the parent process is and then the individual components within that. And it functions then exactly the same as the rest of Flowingly as well. So you've got the high level process which will break out into the individual components, and then each of those components functions the same as your normal processes. So hopefully you enjoy that feature. I think it's going to be very well used.